Hey there guys, it's your favorite Asian robot right here, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about escalations. One of the biggest questions that I get both on my main channel as well as this sub-channel is, when should I be doing escalations? When should I do 10 to 50 escalations? How do I do 10 to 50 escalations? Okay, I'm going to teach you guys in this one video how to get ready for escalations. First and foremost, you need to finish your easy build. What I have right here is the easy repeater build, the link of which is in the video description. All right, I posted the video a month ago. All right, this video will show you the easy build for the repeaters, and we're going to use this to clear the escalation. Now, I'm going to start at level 14, but I'll explain why you should do it at a much later level when you do not have any escalation levels. Okay, we'll cover that later. But just for you to reference, this is the exact build that I have on the easy repeaters. You can double check it and confirm, but this is exactly what I have. Okay, same equipment as well. Like I said, link is in the video description, so you can check that video out. Okay, first of all, I need to explain to you why I'm going in at level 14. If you go to Ark and Drew and you see this thing here behind him, this is actually the lantern that manages, this is like the master lantern. It manages your escalation level. First and foremost, what I'm going to show you is that if you hover over, say, Terra Escalation or Umbrella Escalation, once you hit level 25, notice that you get an extra 100 attack power and 100 defense. All right? You gain 20 power and 20 defense, 20 resistance per level, which means that technically speaking, if I'm level 14, it's as if I'm going into the escalation, assuming I had 0 escalation level, at level 19. Okay, basically, I am going in 5 levels higher. You see, this is why escalation videos where creators show their stuff in escalation can look really, really awesome, because not only are they dealing the normal damage that they would deal with a build, but when they go into escalation and try to showcase that build to you, their damage is going to look fantastic because the escalation bonus already gives you 5 levels of an advantage. Furthermore, within the escalation, there are also talents that further increase your damage and things like that, which is why I don't test my builds, or rather, I do test my builds for escalation, but I don't showcase them in escalation. I show you the raw results in hunting grounds, because all of these things, for example, you can gain passive wound damage. Sorry, not passive wound damage. You can gain passive damage reduction, which makes you survive easier. You can gain passive critical strike chance, allowing you to deal more DPS. There are a lot of things you can gain in every single escalation. This is why it is so crucial sometimes, especially in the Frost escalation, where you have a passive 10% attack damage. Do you see that? Cat's Claws. Passive 10% attack damage. You can gain so much from the escalations, all right, that you don't normally have outside of them, which is again why content should never be showcased in escalation unless it's specifically for escalation. All right, and even then, you do not need a specific escalation build. A good build should be able to carry you through the escalation, because what works in the hunting grounds will definitely work in the escalations. Again, this is why I'm going to showcase this build with an easy build, all right, that is going to take you through an escalation. So we're going to go in at level 14 to compensate for the bonuses that I have, all right? The actual recommended level I'm going to show you for 10 to 50 escalation, let's say you fully finished your easy build. You fully power surged every piece of equipment. You've got all your cell perks, so your build should look exactly like mine. Okay, once you have this, all right, now my power and resistance are going to be a little bit different because I've also got all the reforge bonuses in the Slayer's path. But basically speaking, once you have all of these factors ready, you are ready for escalation. When should you go into a 10 to 50 escalation? I'm going to go in solo, obviously, all right? But I'm going to go in solo into the most basic shock escalation, right? But if you hover over the 10 to 50, you'll notice recommended is level 18. Okay, I'm going to remove my cam so you can see that. Recommended is level 18 up here. You guys should only ever go into the 10 to 50 escalation for your first time, assuming you've got 0 escalation level. Use the public hunt feature, which is call airship. Don't go into a private hunt. Okay, go into a public hunt at level 19. The first time you do escalations, you should be at level 19 with your weapon. You can be at level 20. It's okay. Build your escalation levels. Until you get about 5 levels in an escalation, you should never be taking on an escalation below level 20. All right? After that, once you have 5 levels, you can drop that down. You can start at level 19. Once you've got 10 levels, you can drop that down. You can start at level 18. Once you've got another 5 levels, okay, you drop that down further. Every 5 levels that you get, you drop it down. You drop it down. And at the end of the day, the ideal level to start entering escalations, once you have all your bonuses now, because the bonuses also add a little bit of power to you, right? You don't have to follow the exact 5-5-5 rule. Basically, once you're about level 15 in the escalations, you usually have enough bonuses from your passives and all that kind of and the talent points that you put into them. You usually have enough bonuses to start entering around level 15 or so. And then after that, the ideal level to enter the 10 to 50 escalations, XP wise and also kill time wise, is about level 14. Okay, until then, we're usually in the hunting grounds when leveling. All right, so now I'm level 14. I'm going to do exactly that. We're going to go in. As always, there's no video cuts and editing to show you that I haven't changed my build. There's no secrets, you know, in the background. Nothing is going on that would alter the results of this demonstration. Okay, so now we're going to go in and do exactly that with the easy build that I showed you before. Okay, easy repeater build, level 14, exactly as I said. This is because I'm maxed out on escalation levels. So to show you the proper scenario, we're going to go in now. Boy, it's taking a while to find the server. That, maybe their servers are dying. I heard from people that Dauntless servers are dying, I don't know. But they do seem a bit slow these days. Okay. Now we're going to go in and do the shock escalation. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But we're going to need a little bit of, you know, we're going to need a little bit of music, you know, I reckon. So let's put on some. Even if I take damage, doesn't really matter. Now you'll notice I'm totally ignoring modifiers because they are literally unimportant. Just dodge and don't worry about it. Play as if you would play normally, okay? But try and focus on one single part. Why? Because that's what repeaters are supposed to do. There you go. First kill done. Now, unfortunately, I leveled up, so I have a bit of an extra advantage here. And the cables are stored. Now, the amps that you choose, I always choose offensive amps to help me kill faster. End of story. It just makes sense. Now, when you're fighting 2 behemoths at once, all right, you want to go for the easier behemoth. Now the Savate is fairly easy enough to deal with, but you need to snap some parts off him. And with a Nezaga around, it's a bit tougher, but it can be done. There you go. Every time you snap parts off him, the Savate basically becomes a free and easy target. Now, like I said, you'll have to deal a bit with the Nezaga, you know, moving around, but the easy builds are usually designed with so much sustain that you shouldn't have any trouble. Alright, as you can see, I am not having any trouble just surviving even while taking hits. It's not ideal, but when you have a creature like the Savate around, you don't really have many options. This is because the Svate is a faster creature. There you go. As you can see, very easy. Alright. Once. Oh, this is my favorite. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Get your pay, and it's time for us to leave her. There you go. Now, because we're going into sections 3 and 4, I'm gonna pause the music, although I wouldn't like to. This is because the third and the fourth round are usually a bit tougher. All right. Now, sometimes you get a selection of amps like this. Lady Luck's Barrage doesn't affect your repeaters because you don't deal any stagger damage with them. So your only option is Virulent Impact, even though you don't really deal any crits either. It's wise to just have it because your occasional crit from your Slayer's Path or from passives or anything else you may have in a build, all right, maybe you're not necessarily playing this one. Usually that's a good choice, a good bet. But you will very rarely be critting enough for it to matter. Just remember with the repeaters, as always, you want to focus on one single part where possible, okay? As long as you're breaking one single part at a time, you will generally do very well. Alright, that's how repeaters play in general. You guys know this. Oops. Messed that up. Now, umbral instabilities and things like that, if you want to take them on, you can if they bother you. It just depends on you. I usually don't worry too much about it, yeah. Oops. Failed to do an empowered shot there. As you can see, I'm not even really dodging that much or carrying that much when I really should. But this is just to show you that, realistically speaking, once you get to the appropriate escalation level, you know, an easy build will not only help you survive, but you'll be totally fine. If you're doing this at level 20, alright, and your escalation level is 0, you would still be having a fairly easy time, especially if you're doing a public hunt, because there's more than one person in there. As long as you're not going in there under-leveled, you're totally fine. And this is something that I want to demonstrate to you guys, because at the end of the day, the easy builds are all designed so that you can complete these escalations. That's why they've got a bit more survival in there. That's why they've got the best possible damage with the best possible survival. Alright, Torgador's Fury will give you 20% damage, so we'll take that. Basically, you always want to choose amps that'll buff your damage, or if you desperately need it, buff your survival. Okay? It's up to you to choose accordingly what you need, but this is basically what I do. Now, if there's something like weakness, alright, the weak spot modifier allows you to hit pretty hard. And when you've got something like the Ember Main, that is usually considered a major weakness of the repeaters. But here we have the Scrave as well, so we're just going to try and avoid the Ember Main as much as possible. Well, Scrave, I don't know why it does this. They've never fixed this bug with Scrave, which is really weird, but whatever. Free shots are free shots. So if you're not that confident, you don't have to do things in this way, but, you know. When you know the ins and outs of all the behemoths, it's pretty easy. Okay, now I'm not expecting you to fight alone because not everybody can take on behemoths alone, which is why I do it in the public hunts if you can. Like, for demonstration purposes, obviously, at my skill level, if I were to do it in a public hunt just to show you guys, oh, let me demonstrate how the easy builds function in Escalations, I'd have the world's easiest time, but, you know, at the same time, it wouldn't be a very fair demonstration, which is why I'm doing it solo, and also in a private hunt, just to make sure that you guys get the full picture, and, you know, you realize that there's no fool in here. You know, this is despite me taking all these hits and losing my predator bonus continuously. You can see that my build is still working just fine. This is because, like I said, easy builds are designed so that if you play with a super high skill level and you don't take the hits, you can still achieve very respectable damage. Because obviously I can't have it so that you totally cannot compete with the end game stuff, right? But at the same time, obviously, you know, I gotta build in the survival, I gotta build in the mechanics that will allow you to stay alive, even if you do take a hit, even if you do suffer a little bit. And that's what these easy builds are designed for. Basically, you will be okay even if things don't 100% go your way. That's the idea here. You'll notice I'm always targeting a part because part breaking with the repeaters is usually a great way of getting them to slow down for a little bit, and then you can completely wipe them out. Okay, so we've already finished round 4. Now we're just going to go kill Malkurion. Remember, if you do this when you're at level 20 for the first time you go in and you've got no bonuses, you will be okay. That's the key thing. You will be okay if you do it like that. Alright? But if you don't and you choose to just go in wildly and, you know, get yourself killed because you've seen other people do it at level 15, 14, and they don't tell you this information, then of course you are not going to have a very good time. So please remember that the first time you do this, you don't have the bonuses. Alright, now keep in mind that when you're dealing with the escalation bosses, learning their attack pattern is very important. Malkurion has a very simplistic pattern, but he's nothing to worry about. Just dodge his attacks, and he's good to go. Repeaters actually have one of the easiest times against Malkurion because he doesn't really do anything too fantastic. Alright, he's not like super special or anything. He just has a lot of charging base attacks, and he hovers a lot. Because he hovers a lot, this can make him a bit tougher to pin down and really fight, but honest to God, you'll be just fine. Just get used to his tail swipes, dodge through them, and the dodge frames are very generous for a game like Dauntless, so remember that. And even if you don't dodge through them, like I said, the build itself will carry you through. Okay, it's not that difficult once you get used to it. It's the key thing is once you get used to it. And I'm aware that it can be a bit tougher to get used to him. Now, if you want to ever mount a behemoth and they do this attack that they leave the aether vents on the ground, just get on board of the behemoth with the aether vent and you can start shooting them directly, okay? Press the dodge and you'll jump back up. And of course, if it permits you to, you can jump back on them again and keep firing. And you can do that as long as you've got stamina, so... Now, it may be a bit of a chore to try and hit the same pot all the time, but, well, that's part of what you gotta do. Alright, again, this is why repeaters are great. They are excellent for actually aiming at a particular part. As long as you know which part you're aiming for and can track the behemoth, although it can seem a little difficult, this is basically how you will succeed and do what you're supposed to do. Okay, don't get caught by his grab attack or you're gonna have a bad time. There you go. Totally calm. Shooting every part of Malkurion. And he's dead. There you go. Alright, so if you were to apply the same thinking knowledge, it is extremely easy to just wipe out the escalation with your easy build. Alright, start at level 20 because you don't have any bonuses, and then every 5 levels you can effectively deduct a level until you hit level 25. You should be going in at level 15 14 with no troubles. Okay, so that's basically how to handle escalations and when you should do escalations. All right, I hope this video helps you, and please do enjoy once you have your easy build. Like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy my content. All right, and if you want to support me further, you can send a tip via the link in the description of the video. I'd be very happy if you do, but it's entirely optional if you want to. Also, as always, because it makes my haters mad, here is my email, realasianrobot@gmail.com. All right, you can send an email there if you want to get a custom build. It is $50 US. Same with a heroic escalation carry. Bada bing, bada boom. Enjoy if you'd like. All right. Also optional, but apparently people still don't like me advertising this, but whatever. It is what I do. Okay? Thank you very much, and I will see you guys on the next video. Y'all have a good one now.